Hey guys, gwyned here. Gonna bring you a retrospective look at my final match for MPDC Season 12 Worlds. Real excited to share this with you. Hope you enjoy it. So my opponent won the dice roll, and as always, chose to play first. Take a look at my opener. Always a little awkward when you have two Squadron Hawks in your opener. It's great to see one. Two, not as much, because of course it weakens the card advantage that the card generates. Still, the fact that I have all my colors is really a great thing, so that's an obvious keep. My opponent starts off, and we're off to the races here. Going to go ahead and fetch a plains, obviously. Draw the core Skyfisher, which is great. Here, obvious play, go ahead and play out the island and get the Squadron Hawks going, even though I drew the Terramorphic. Don't really need to pop it yet because I don't have a turn 3 play here. It's interesting, what would I fetch? Kind of several different ways you could look at it. Don't have a lot of need for double white. Already have double blue, have red, but really sometimes it's nice to have 3 islands, so I'm guessing that's what I'm going to do here, simply because having 2 for deprive plus a third one to allow you to play something can be helpful. So let's see, go ahead and get the Squadron Hawk, and we will see what I fetch. Opponent goes ahead and fetches a mountain. And here, a couple things he could do. Could pull out a Stagger Shock here, but probably more commonly it's going to be a Seagate Oracle, and that is in fact what my opponent plays. Start the card advantage engine on his side. And alright, so here it is on my turn, drawing 2 second plains as well. So yeah, now I really think the only thing that makes sense here is to go ahead and fetch for an island. Swing in with the Squadron Hawk, hit for 1, go ahead and play out the second Squadron Hawk. So yeah, that is indeed what I do, is get that island, get the second Squadron Hawk, fetch another one, and keep going from there. See, my opponent has a preordain here. That's one of the things he likes. He plays several of these preordains, and it's a great card. I'm not always sure it's worth a card, but certainly smooth out your draws and is overall a great card. And he in fact draws into a second one here. And let's see, he went bottom top on his first one, and then went bottom top on the second one. Swinging with the Seagate Oracle. This is a very common thing in this matchup, as you end up with Squadron Hawks on one side and Seagate Oracle on the other. The advantage, of course, is the Squadron Hawks can attack over the Seagate Oracle. The disadvantage is, of course, that they can never block the Seagate Oracle. You would have to put 3 on them just to take out the Seagate Oracle and just really open yourself up for a 2-for-1. So generally speaking, you're not going to do a lot of blocking in this situation, but it only attacks for 1. So, I mean, it's a great situation to be in, but you can definitely get aggressive as your opponent with Seagate Oracle when all they've got is Squadron Hawks opposing. So it finds a core Skyfisher, of course, very, again, common thing in this matchup. That's exactly what you want to be doing, is using core Skyfisher to gain a lot of card advantage, bouncing the Seagate Oracles over and over and over again. So draw into a negate, that could prove to be very useful. Maybe not a great draw early, but definitely something that will be helpful. No better target for a lightning bolt than, of course, Skyfisher. Definitely the right play there. Swinging with both the Squadron Hawks. And then just don't have anything to bounce, so here I think just fetching another Squadron Hawk's the right thing to do. That is, in fact, what I do, and we'll keep going from there. See what my opponent does. Replays the Seagate Oracle. That makes sense. He goes ahead and passes the turn back. And let's see, I draw into a 4C. Play out the plains here. Now I have a couple options. I could go ahead and play out the 4C, but my opponent is representing the fact that he could have a negate. And if I wait a turn, I'll be able to play my own. I'll be able to play 4C with negate backup. So it's probably worth waiting. Interesting to see if that's what I do or not. Go ahead and swing in with the Squadron Hawks before I'm making decisions. Yeah, that's an interesting situation. Not sure if you're planning on playing 4C. Is it better to do it before or after combat? If you think your opponent has a trick and he's likely to tap out, then certainly it's better to go ahead and do combat, but not likely to have a trick with 1 plains and 1 island represented. So I already got my opponent down to 14. That's great. So I think if I had to do it again, I would not cast the 4C here. I would just hold on, see what I end up doing. Oh, looks like I'm going to... Oh, no, I see it. Okay, so I went ahead and saw it, saw that the best thing to do would be to wait, take his represented negate very seriously, just play out the 4th Squadron Hawk, and pass the turn back. So let's see again. My opponent's going to swing in. Nothing I can do about that, but, I'm definitely winning that race, so make that trade all day. So let's see what else he's got. So finds the second Seagate Oracle, continues to play out the card advantage engine. And now, of course, he's not only representing negate, but representing deprive as well. Deck, I know, plays both. So here, drawing the Blister Stick Shaman, not a real great draw. Now, if he had his own Squadron Hawks out, that would certainly be great. But in this situation, not very helpful. And here, I'll go ahead and play the island. And looks like I'm going to go ahead and foresee now. Yeah, you know, either way, he's not likely to do anything during combat, so I guess it only makes sense. So, play out the foresee. Oh, and he does, in fact, have the negate. Fortunately, I waited and have the negate of my own. And let's see what I draw into. Here, let's see. I think given what's in my hand, I'm really not under any pressure. I really don't need the Lone Missionary. Of course, Sanctifiers isn't real great. The deck is not highly dependent upon artifacts. No, it plays Prism. I think it also plays the 1/1 Living Weapon. But generally speaking, it doesn't play a lot of artifacts. Whether to keep it or not, it is a good attacker. It can block the Seagate Oracle. I think it could go either way. If I had to do it over, I think I would definitely bottom the Lone Missionary. Might bottom the Core Sanctifiers. Probably that's slightly better than keeping it. But, you know, I think either way is probably right. Yeah, so it does look like that's exactly what I did. Went ahead and kept the Seagate Oracle, the Core Sanctifiers, and the Deprive, and went ahead and bottomed the Lone Missionary. No sense drawing the Deprive since I'm not going to play it. And then swing in again with the team, dropping my opponent to 10. And I definitely like this position at the moment. Let's see what my opponent has here. So he finds a 4C of his own, which is unfortunate. Going to draw into a lot of gas, and there's obviously nothing I can do about it. And he keeps 3 and bottoms 1. Swings in, and we're off. Let's see if he's got another play. He does. Finds a second Core Skyfisher. Good for him. Is able to bounce that Seagate Oracle and get even more work out of it. Alright, so I draw under Deprive. That's going to be helpful. And see here, you can see why it's nice to have that 3 blue mana. Not only can I hold up Deprive, but can still cast Seagate Oracle. Obviously, that's the plan here. Probably should have actually tapped the Mountain. It's not likely I'm going to play out the Blister Stick Shaman. Now I could draw into a Burn spell, which would be nice. But I can't hold Deprive up. So, I don't know. I could see that going either way. Now, the advantage of this is that I'll be able to... well, I guess it wouldn't matter, actually. Could rep Deprive. Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to do both Core Skyfisher and Deprive. Probably what I was thinking here is that I was going to Oracle and just immediately play the Core Skyfisher, so Deprive was not really on my radar. That's, of course, a great find. Halimore Depths is great, but, of course, you'd much rather have the Skyfisher, so obvious keep there. Go ahead and play that out. And my opponent goes in and lightning bolts the Seagate Oracle. You know, generally I'm happy. I hate when I find myself in a situation where I feel like I should lightning bolt my opponent's Seagate Oracle. I think 9 times out of 10 it's a mistake. I'd rather save a lightning bolt for something that's a lot more of a threat, like a Core Skyfisher. But I can certainly see here he's trying to keep me from getting any further ahead on cards. We're pretty even. Excuse me, we're pretty even as far as card advantage here. So I can see why he did that, but I'm not sure it was the right play. And forces me to bounce a land, but I haven't played a land that turn, so really nothing lost there. Could have attacked there and got in for 2, but at the cost of a Squadron Hawk, and just not enough value there. So I'll replace the Seagate Oracle. Makes sense, and has Flame Slash for my Core Skyfisher, and continues to swing in, holding the Core Skyfisher back to hold back my team. Again, makes sense. So let's see here. I draw into a Flame Slash of my own, so here we go. Takes 1 to know 1, buddy. And there goes his Core Skyfisher and opens me up to go ahead and swing in. Oh, and it appears my opponent does have a counterspell, Stoic Rebuttal. As I mentioned, I don't understand why you play Stoic Rebuttal in this deck. Deprive is 9 times out of 10 better. Bouncing the land doesn't really matter. And you never have Metalcraft in this deck. Neither version really has enough artifacts for you to get Metalcraft. So I really don't understand why that was included. But it always has been on you know, the most common build. So what are you going to do? So here, clearly, I'm going to go ahead and cast Deprive. I've got to get that Core Skyfisher off the table. Allows me to get in for 4 more damage. It's clearly the right play, and I definitely made the right play there. So pretty happy about that. Go ahead and attack in with the team now. After that, it's an interesting choice. What do I do here? I don't really have anything to bounce, which makes Core Skyfisher maybe less than desirable. I really hate to lose that engine. It really, to me, just makes sense to hold off on that. So I think I would not play that out. Can't play the Blister Stick with the Mountain tapped. Could go ahead and use Core Sanctifiers here. It's a good blocker. Might slow him down. I think that's probably the right play. Let's see what I do here. Oh, looks like I'm going to just go ahead and bounce a land here. Oh, that's interesting. Again, it's not a bad play. I think I still like playing the Sanctifiers out. Would have the Skyfisher still in hand, but this is a very aggressive line. Next turn, if he does nothing, it does allow me to swing in for the win. So maybe that is better, actually. Yeah, I think that is the right play. If he doesn't find either a removal spell or part of his own Air Force, he's just dead next turn. So actually, I take it back. That was definitely the right play. It's an aggressive line, but I think it's the right one. So he finds yet another 4C, putting him way ahead on the card advantage front here, and probably allowing him to find a burn spell to take out the core Skyfisher. So it looks like, let's see, yeah, he keeps 3, so he almost certainly found one, which he did, and a Kabaira, placing him out of range, which is great for him. So I'm still definitely ahead, but it's getting a little closer. He holds 2 islands back, representing Deprive. Draw into Seagate Oracle, which is great. Can go and swing in again with the team. And I'm still only 1 turn away after this from having him at lethal, so didn't put me too far behind at the moment. He's still got to find some kind of Air Force to take out my team in order to survive. Obviously, going to play the Seagate Oracle here. Interesting choices, would have been better to tap my mana slightly differently depending on what I'm going to draw, but it's probably fine. See what we get here. Got a Preordain or a Prophetic Prism. Now here, a couple options. I can't actually play the Preordain right now. Normally it would, I think, be a better keep, clearly a better keep than the Prism. But I'm really just trying to finish off my opponent before he's able to stabilize, get anything else on the board. A Prism, playing the Prism with the 2 planes might allow me to draw into a burn spell, and pretty much next turn, no matter what, I would have him. I think that's probably the right play. Oh, but it ends up I kept the Preordain. Interesting. I wonder if I forgot that I had tapped out all my islands. Again, that's a disadvantage of playing it out that way. It would have been better to tap one of the planes. Not really sure why I did it that way. It was a mistake, I think. But anyway, here again, it looks like, oh, interesting. So I do go ahead, since I have the mana, I don't want to waste the mana, go ahead and ping him for 1. Again, I mean, it's not a bad play next turn. It does give me some more options, but the Blister Stick Shaman doesn't really do anything. At best, it keeps him from swinging in next turn, so it keeps 2 back. But yeah, I'm just not sure that was a good play. Even the Core Sanctifiers might have been a better play. So he does, in fact, find Squadron Hawk. Now, fortunately, he only has 2 planes, so he can only get 2 of them out on the board. Draws into a Depths as well, which is definitely going to help him. So, I'm definitely in a race against time here. It feels like he's drawing a little bit ahead, starting to stabilize. I've got to finish him off quickly. So here, it looks like, yeah, just draw a mountain. Now, you see here, the advantage of waiting was that I can now preordain, which is a much better effect than the Prism. See what I can find. Not a great find. Second Sanctifiers and a mountain. Go ahead and, I think clearly the right thing there is bottom. Find a 4C, which is great. He could have Counterspell here, but time's really of the essence. Go ahead and 4C. And he does, in fact, have the Counterspell, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? Clearly, I'm going to go ahead and swing in here with all 4 Hawks. Happy to trade off, drop him down to 1. Now, he did, with the Deprive, bounce the Kabaira Crossroads, which is unfortunate. I mean, it would be, and maybe that's a reason not to play the 4C, because if he has a counter, he's going to be able to drop that and stay alive, which is unfortunate. So he'll drop to 1, but of course it's not really going to matter, because next turn he's going to replay that Kabaira Crossroads and get himself back up to 3. Still in Lightning Bolt range, so not a big deal. Swings in with the Seagate Oracle, which is just a clear tell that he's going to play another creature. So finds a 3rd core Skyfisher, which is great. He's really getting a lot of work out of those Seagate Oracles, gaining lots of card advantage, and I have just got to finish him off before he overwhelms me. Finds a Prism here, which is great. I'm going to be able to core Sanctifiers next turn. Still at 3 life, so if I can draw a burn spell, then that would be the end of that, and in fact, that is what happens. Draw the burn spell, finish him off with that, and that's how I won Game 1. So I'll be back in just a minute for Game 2. See you in a minute.